Okay, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Soggy Friday. We are the Welcome Home team. I'm Maria Rini, and with us behind the camera,
Hi, everybody.
Corey Waters. And today we are at the Paton Law Firm and have the joy of interviewing Kimberly Paton about what's going on in the legal world. So first, Kimberly, how are things operating in our local courts?
Making adjustments just like everybody else, and unfortunately also staggering staff, shortened staff hours, They're doing a great job in the midst of a pandemic, but everything is just taking longer. So, I work a lot with the surrogate court, mostly with the surrogate court. My associate attorney is in the other areas of the courthouse. They're doing a lot of things on Zoom. Everything as remote as possible, electronic, with some very, very limited ability to go into the courthouse. But in general, nobody's going into the courthouse. The surrogate court, which normally would be, if a person dies, you present a will. It takes about a week to have that will probated. Nowadays, it's taking about 3 months.
Wow.
So it's a huge delay, and there's no fault here. It's just the reality of shortened staff and an inability for a court or a county to react quickly the way a private business can.
Okay, so how are you getting things done these days?
We're reacting quickly. We upgraded our computer system in March as soon as there was the 2-week shutdown. So we had to close. We knew we had to be closed. Our system was not designed to be remote, because I'm in the office every day, the office staff is in the office every day. As soon as we realized that we needed to be able to work remotely, we upgraded everything. We upgraded our security system on our computers, because we're doing so many more things electronically. We're able to send a lot of documents out to be signed electronically, which you've been doing in your business for a very long time. Certain documents have to be signed in person. So we've been dealing with that. Fortunately, we can, during the summer months and the good weather, we were going down to the parking lot and letting people sign documents in their car. Tell them to bring their own PPP, bring their own pens. It meant that we had to review everything, over the telephone or on a video conference, and make sure everything was perfect before they came. And we still had to make a couple of adjustments every so often when somebody would say, I changed my mind. Well, they're in the parking lot, they changed their mind. Okay, but now you have to wait a little bit. As it used to be easy, you could just send it down the hall. Now we had to send somebody upstairs and get it revised. That's what we're doing. We're staggering staff just like everybody else. We're keeping our staff very safe. We have an outside balcony, so when the weather is not so great, we're in an outside balcony. We have converted a hallway to a conference room. We're doing whatever it takes to take good care of our clients and good care of our staff.
What do people need most these days? What are your clients coming to you for?
Protecting their families. Having an updated will that says what you want, who do you want to be in charge if you die, where do you want your money to go, so that, and I think the realities and the uncertainties of the pandemic have made it very pressing for people to do this. So they've been thinking about it for a while. Nobody likes to think about it. That's what they're doing. I pulled out the AARP. They're telling everybody, update your documents. So a will, that's in case you die. Power of attorney, a financial power of attorney, in case you get sick. How is your family going to take care of the finances? A healthcare proxy, in case you get sick and you can't talk to the doctors. You have to authorize somebody to have legal right to do that. A living will, in case you get so sick that they can keep you alive on life support, but they cannot, you won't get better. Do you really want to be kept alive like that? Now, some people do and some people don't. So you have to express your wishes, or else your family is going to be in turmoil. Especially, we have a lot of blended families, so you've got adult children from a prior relationship who might be fighting with your spouse. You could have the children from your same marriage still fighting with your spouse. You want to have those documents updated. Another document you might want now is a revocable trust. Generally speaking, I told you before, a will could be probated in about 7 days. Now it's taking about 3 months. So you need to have a 3-month emergency fund that somebody else has access to, just in case you die and nobody can access your money. How are they going to pay your property taxes? How are they going to pay the utilities? So you can do that with the revocable trust, or you can have a bank account that says, if I die, this money goes to my son or my daughter, so that there's access.
Okay. So you mentioned meeting people in the parking lot or doing business off the balcony there.
Mhm.
The upgraded computer system,
Right.
if you will. How else are you adapting during this time? What changes have you made to your organization that you think are gonna stick going forward?
We, well, hopefully this won't stick, but we have not let anybody in our office, in order to protect my staff. We have, I think, not the staggered staff, but I think allowing people to work from home will become something that is viable and better. Like right now, it's just very hard because we are reacting every day to changes. If we don't have the pandemic and we don't have the stress of a pandemic and urgency of clients who are calling and they need things right now, we can plan better. We might just say everybody's working remotely on Fridays and we plan better. So I think that'll be a win-win-win. I think it'd be really nice for my staff to be able to work from home on that day. Great for the environment because it'll reduce our carbon footprint. And good for me too, because sometimes I would really like to take a day off. I mean, I can't. I have people waiting for me. So I think that will stick. We've made some, we've obviously used our PPP program. This is one that I really like. It's a clear plastic face mask. Why I like this so much is I find a lot of my clients, we're dealing with very sensitive issues, very emotional. It's hard to hear when you have a mask on, so when you have the opaque mask, very hard to hear. This allows them to see my facial expression. They allow me to read lips, allow them to read my lips. They know that I'm talking sometimes, because sometimes people just start talking and you can't hear each other, and you may not be hearing each other and getting all the information. So I don't know about masks. I feel like this pandemic is making us all very, very aware of the germs that are around us and how difficult they can be. Masks probably won't continue, but the sanitizing that we do, the deep cleaning that we do all the time, which we've always cleaned the office, but we've never sanitized like we do now. We sanitize before a client comes into this conference room and after they leave. So it's getting especially clean.
Terrific. We should have led with this,
Mhm.
but tell the listeners what your primary focus of the law is.
Okay.
and the other areas that your law firm kind of specializes in.
My concentration is on trust and estates. So that's wills, living wills, powers of attorney, trusts, asset preservation, so planning for Medicaid. So veterans benefits. So a lot of people don't realize that veterans benefits are available to the veteran and to the spouse, even if the veteran has died, to the widow or the widower. So this can become very, very beneficial. My office also does, and I handle the real estate deals, corporate and commercial real estate. I always recommend Maria. Erin Lewis is another attorney in the office, and she handles the estate administration, guardianships, more of the litigation matters. Unfortunately, with litigation, especially in family dynamics, is exhausting for me. I cannot separate the emotion, and you really have to be able to close the door and say, okay, that's over. But, I've had, unfortunately, estates where the kids are fighting over stupid things. And for me, I can resolve it when it's stupid. When it's a situation where we have to go to court and have a judge resolve it, I don't want to be involved in that. Fortunately, Erin Lewis loves that stuff. She loves going to court. She loves it, fighting with everybody. So that's we handle just about everything, corporate and commercial matters, real estate, trust and estate planning, which is what I do. You know what, I brought something else here I wanted to show, because one of the other things I realize when I'm talking to clients, we do so much on the telephone now, or on a Zoom meeting, that they don't get to meet any of my staff. So we created our memo of meet our staff. So now everybody gets this when they get there, we send them in a retainer agreement, and at least they can put a face with a voice, and, because we really are dealing with emotional things. Even buying
Sure.
a house, well, you know this.
Yeah.
You're buying a house, somebody is selling their home, somebody is just about to go into debt for $500,000, and everything is a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I find it comforting to my clients if they can put the face with the name when we go outside to introduce ourselves. I'm the only one that actually uses the clear plastic masks because the other people don't like them, but we make them take off their mask. Step back 8 feet, take off a mask, introduce you to the clients. So that's everything that we're doing now, and we will continue a lot of it. We've always taken really good care of our clients, whatever it takes. We've been very fortunate with the governor changed the notary law so that we can do it via video conference, because there are times that I have to go to a hospital or a rehab center or somebody's home, but the hospitals and rehab centers all have their own very strict rules. Sometimes they won't let anybody in, sometimes it's one person. If I can get one person in with the document, and then I'm on a video chat and I can explain the whole thing to the client and have them sign it, we can get documents signed. And I've gone into, even as recently as last week, I was in ICU in Englewood Hospital with a client to get them to sign documents.
Crazy times.
It is crazy, but you just keep adjusting.
Yeah.
or you're gonna fail, and we can't fail. We have to just keep succeeding.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love most about your firm, because we have, we work with law firms,
Of course.
day in, day out as part of our real estate practice, and we have seen reactions like, okay, we're gonna curl up in the corner and no, we can't do that right now, and nobody's in the office, goodbye.
Right.
To, hey, how are we gonna pivot and make this all work? And
Right.
so you're a shining example of that.
Thank
That's
you.
why we wanted to have you with us
And we
today.
work hard to do it, and we change at any time we have to. Whatever it takes, that's what we do to protect our clients and to protect our staff.
So any message you wanna send out there as a tip,
I think the big message we all have to understand is this will pass. So everybody has to calm down a little bit. There is obviously stress just in the air, and everybody's a pincushion, and that's what I think is making everybody especially anxious at this time. I would also remind everybody to look at your wills, powers of attorney, living wills, healthcare proxies. Look at the beneficiaries on any accounts that you have to make sure that they are who you want them to be. And if you need us to look at it and tell you if it's good or not good, or would we recommend a change, we're happy. If it's good, we'll tell you it's good. We're not looking to manufacture business here. We don't have to churn files, thankfully. We're very busy. And we really believe in relationships. So we want to always do the right thing by the clients, by our networking buddies. We always want to do the right thing. But you really have to look at these documents, and nobody likes to look at them. And make sure you have the originals, and you know where the originals are. Because I've had people who come to me with copies and say, we have it, okay, where's your original? Nobody knows. It might be in the old attorney's office. It might have been in 2 houses ago that somewhere it got lost. You want to make sure you have all of the originals.
Super. Thank you so much for being with us
It's my
today,
pleasure.
Kimberly.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.